iDubbbz has had one of the most precipitous falls from grace in the history of YouTube, honestly. And in addition to that, he's had a fall in perception. Nobody who liked iDubbbz back in the day really likes him anymore. He disassociated most of his fan base. I think there was a point where he called them all like basement dwelling losers or something like that, or at least implied that a bunch of them were. And, that sort of stuff, not going to hold on to a lot of fans, especially when you combine it with uploading content that they're not as interested in, like squirrel videos and stuff. And you can see the effects on his channel. It's been a while since he cracked 1 million views. We're coming up on 2 years now where he hit 1 million views. I miss the old iDubbbz, Froggy Fresh, Creator Clash 2. Yeah, How I Feel About My Loss, Creator Clash 2022. Those videos did pretty well, but again, it's been about 2 years. And Creator Clash 2, well, it might have done all right for his channel. Obviously not a success when it lost $250,000. And this was in large part due to lavish spending, having free parties, free hotel rooms, free bar for a bunch of influencers who weren't really adding anything to Creator Clash. And if you ask Idubbbz and Anisa, they have more sinister reasons for why they didn't make the money, and they don't really seem interested in admitting that they overspent. And in light of that, they are doubling down, and they are doing Creator Clash 3.
Can you hear that? I think it's supposed to spin. Oh, it is spinning. Creator Clash is back. Tickets are available down below. Okay, this wasn't as epic as I thought it was going to be. It is quite beautiful, I have to admit. Ah! Jesus Christ. How do I kill it? Before I tell you guys whether I'm fighting or not, I want to give some context as to what makes Creator Clash special to me and why we have to bring it back. Because I've been teasing things like a Creator Clash documentary. And I think I disappointed a lot of people because you're like, where the fuck is that? Well,
a lot of people, it says 5 comments. I don't know if a lot of people were disappointed.
I'll get into that. Now, this whole thing started with a beef between me and Rice Gum. That sounds a little stupid, but sometimes stupid ideas turn into awesome events.
Right hand the Harley, and it goes down.
The theory I had 3 years ago when trying to promote Creator Clash 1 is the same theory I have today. I think the single most important element of an influencer boxing event is the mystery component. Obviously, you gotta have, popular...
I just don't know if that's the mystery component. Like, wouldn't it be more interesting if there was beef between these people? If there was a reason for them to be fighting other than it was just for the sake of this event? Like, I'm not saying mystery can't help, but aren't people usually invested in like storylines and that sort of thing? I think that's why, even though it's not as popular as it used to be, WWE is still around because they have storylines and it makes it easier for people to get invested in these characters and care about the outcomes of the matches. Like this Tubbo versus Snapnap, I can kind of see that one. I think they have some sort of Minecraft beef. They've been fighting about something. So that one's all right. But a lot of these other guys, I don't really see why they're fighting other than they're in a similar weight class.
Influencers, maybe it's important to have a little drama, a little beef, but what I think makes influencer boxing interesting at its core is the mystery. Who's gonna train, who's not gonna train, and what does their particular background contribute?
Like, who's gonna train, who's not gonna train? What? How is that exciting? Oh, I'm gonna watch somebody who did train fight somebody who didn't train. That sounds interesting. So it's just going to be a completely one-sided amateur boxing match. Oh yeah, I really want to see that. Especially when, personally, I don't know most of these people.
Contribute to the outcome of the fight. At one point in this video, I do say that I'll eventually make a documentary. We're all getting punched in the head. I'm documenting the whole thing. There will eventually be a documentary about the boxing event. I'm just gonna be real with you. That was the biggest lie I ever told. But seriously, I was intending to make a documentary. It just, I didn't know what was going to be important. I just have like 100 hours of me sparring and shadow boxing in like 4K. It's the most boring shit ever. That's not a documentary. I don't know why I ever thought that was a documentary. I'm not even joking. There's like folders on folders of me doing this. Like, is that a narrative? No. No, I'm an idiot. I never thought to like whip out my phone after an important meeting or important phone call and be like, we just secured the venue, guys. Epic Mealtime is dealing with a really traumatic hernia right now, and I'm not sure if we're gonna have a heavyweight fight. We're really scared.
Was he just banking on winning and that being the story of the documentary, or why did he not think that you would need to include any of this? What did he possibly think the documentary was going to be if all he was filming was himself sparring and practicing?
And those aren't the
Like, he admits he's an idiot, so fair enough. You can't really criticize him too much more since he admits that. But I just don't understand how he ever thought he was going to have anything if that's all he was going to record.
things that you really want to pop out the camera for and be like, this is what's happening. The first event went off without a hitch. I was so amazed by the amount of people who showed up. It was loud from the moment the doors opened to the moment they closed. Matt Watson and Dad just killed it and just set the whole thing off. And to top it all off, we raised $1.3 million for charity. That was the best event of my life. And I wanted to do that again. Now for the second year,
So I think that's why he's still doing it. Things have not been going well for him the last few years, and that was the one legitimate high that he had, was throwing this successful event. And he's trying to recapture that. And also probably trying to wipe a little bit of the stain off his record of not raising money for charity successfully. Oh, also, this Hello tattoo, I don't know for sure. I think this is the tattoo parlor that iDubbbz and Anisa go to. And I was watching a Kino Casino episode where they're going over their podcast, and Anisa and iDubbbz, they go to the tattoo parlor, and they have like this gumball machine with just pictures of a tattoo on there, like super basic ones. You put a quarter in there and spin it, and then whatever comes out, that's the tattoo that they get. That's the level of thought that they put into these permanent brandings that they put on their bodies. It's like, wow, I wonder why it looks so terrible when you just at random out of a gumball machine select your tattoos. Crazy.
we didn't do as well financially. That's putting it lightly. We didn't anticipate the pay-per-view sales to be as bad as they were. Piracy was a little bit of an issue. The feedback that I had been receiving over the past year is like, just not enough advertising. A lot of people didn't know about it, and they wanted to know about the event, and they would have bought tickets. We're gonna try really hard this year to remedy that. We need to advertise.
So that's all he really says. It was advertising and piracy. That's why the last event went from making $1.3 million for charity to losing $250,000 and not being able to donate to charity. And he had to demean himself doing a 24-hour live stream and shave his mustache and stuff. I'll show a little bit of that after this, just so you can get an idea of what he's potentially signing himself up for again.
Advertise it. Maybe that.
But no mention of the fact that they overspent like crazy, that they paid so that influencers could just have free drinks at the bar. They paid for hotel rooms for people. They overspent like crazy. And it wasn't just for people who were fighting. It was for just influencers who wanted to come hang out and watch the event and stuff. It doesn't add anything to the product that they're selling. And they spent a ton of money on that. He doesn't even gloss over it. He just doesn't mention it at all.
That means bugging the fighters more. I hate doing that, but maybe we have to. And just me making content around this shit. And I want more people to come to this event because it's been so life-changing for me.
And that's not to say that lack of advertising or piracy had no effect, but to act like that's the bulk of the reason, that's my problem.
And I feel like it is such good vibes. I felt a lot of love in that arena. And even from my competitor, fucking Alex Wasabi. He was all being sweet to me and everything. You know, how sweet is that? Because we lost so much money on the second event, we weren't able to deliver to the charities. So we did this impromptu charity stream where I was like squirting ketchup down my throat for Philip DeFranco.
Oh, Philly donated 1.1K for throat chop.
As much of an
Look what he's just completely demeaning himself. I understand he dug himself into a hole, but my goodness, that's rough.
unorganized shit show the charity stream was, it really meant a lot to me to see how many creators and fighters and fans and people who pirated it came through and donated for the cause, because that told me there is a way to fundraise for an event and also have an event. We can do both at the same time, and that's what we intend to do with this year's event. Now, obviously, we don't want a repeat of the previous year. It sucks losing a fuck ton of money, and it also sucks to then not be able to donate to the charities. We've restructured things so that even if the event is unsuccessful, it's a massive flop, I don't promote it enough, charity is still gonna get money, because we're gonna be fundraising from now all the way to the end of the event, and on the event day, I have some very badass initiatives.
I mean, does that not just seem like he's scared of losing money again? That's how that reads to me. Like it's good that he's putting in some safeguards so that it doesn't go as catastrophically wrong as it did last time. But it really reads as if he's worried about the success of this event.
Initiatives that I've developed that you guys are going to be seeing along the way that are meant to pack the coffers of Stand Up to Cancer. I don't know what coffers is. I don't know what packing the coffers is. Oh, also, Stand Up to Cancer is our partnered charity this year. All donations go directly to them. We do it through Tiltify. It's real straightforward. There's like some sort of leaderboard and shit like that. Now I'm going to tell you guys whether I'm fighting or not. I'm not. I've sacrificed enough, number one, and it also kind of goes against my theory about influencer boxing. I said it 3 years ago, I'm saying it again in this video. The more an influencer boxes, the less utility they have. I'm approaching what would be my third fight, and it would be cool to win, but this isn't a movie. I'm okay with not fucking winning this shit. Hey, don't get me wrong. If there's enough people interested, like, I'll come back. What I'm getting at,
I don't think there's enough people interested in the event in general. He has the links to where you can buy tickets in here. All of these blue spots are tickets that are still available. The grayed out stuff is what's been bought. So this stuff here, like right across from the ring, right next to it, sold all right. And then some of these seats, like these are special booths or something, I think, like the real nice seats. Same thing over here. Those have sold out. But otherwise, I mean, that's rough. Because I don't know for sure, but don't most of the sales come from when the tickets first go online for most events? That was my perception of it, but I could be wrong about that. Either way, it looks pretty dire that they've only sold that many tickets so far.
is that the fight for me is more about the event itself. Like, that's what I'm fighting for, is I just want the event to do well. If I'm able to eventually win a fight, that would be a cherry on top. That would be awesome. That'd be really cool redemption arc. For now, I really need to focus on the event succeeding and also just making money. Like, this shit has just drained me over the last 3 years. Let's put it this way. If I fought...
They've also talked on their podcast, Ian and Anisa, about how strapped for cash they are in general. They're like having to budget groceries and be very careful about their meal planning and that sort of stuff because they've not been making the money that they were before. I'm pretty sure Anisa completely closed her OnlyFans too. It wasn't, I don't think it ever made that much, but you know, he lost a lot of his credibility with his fans because of that. I don't know that how much of his failure you can attribute to that, but I mean, that was kind of the beginning of the downfall.
this year,
And then she just closes that. Like, that's got to be pretty brutal that he went to battle with his fans over Anisa opening this OnlyFans, and then she never really made that much money from it and just kind of quietly closes it a couple years later. Yeah, it'd be a little bit frustrating, I would think, for Ian.
that might mean that I took Freddie Wong's slot on the fight card because Freddie Wong is fighting. That's fucking Freddie Wong walk it jump, and I think that's way better. If Hundar came back to fight, we might not be getting LA Beast. That's the thing I don't think a lot of people get. This guy eats cactuses. This guy put his hand in some fucking vile concoction that made him scream bloody murder. I still don't know what the concoction is. This guy is insane. If Matt Watson came back, we might not have room for this guy that I met at E3 10 years ago, who now has a booming animation company and apparently likes to do violence in his spare time. The website's in the description. Go check out all the fighters. The YouTube account...
I mean, sure, that can be cool for you, but are the fans supposed to care about that all that much?
is going to have a bunch of original content that's following these fighters, so you're going to be able to be a little bit prepped. The best thing to do is follow all the Creator Clash socials, so you're able to be updated on everything. This year is going to be a banger.
I think it's a great idea if he doesn't fight. I think like running an event and fighting in it is kind of a bad idea. It's hard enough, kind of like running an event.
There you go. I got an endorsement to not box. Thank you. Bless. To close this
Well, if Ludwig said so, by all means.
video, I want to leave you with a little hype trailer that I've been working on, just to get you guys in the freaking
Would I be able to borrow a gun from my panel? Just for like one, I'll pull it just once, real quick one.
I didn't know there were other girls in this Discord.
Go take a shit in the bathroom!
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
I think that's all the rest of this is just a hype reel, yeah. Creator Clash 3 Influencers Will Pay, June 28th, 2025. So let's just take a quick trip down memory lane. Actually, I don't know how many people remember this because these VODs, re-uploads, don't have very many views. This is the first one in the series of 5. It's got less than 300 views. I don't think very many people saw this other than, you know, people who watched the stream at the time, but those aren't going to be the most critical people because they're donating and stuff. So I don't think people talked about this nearly as much as they should have. But he set up these goals of ways that he could humiliate and embarrass himself in exchange for money. And, you know, I can understand that he felt the need to do that, but it doesn't really make it any less demeaning or humiliating to me. He just drools the ketchup onto his lap or his desk.
Throat chop. By the way, it might look like I'm tearing up. I'm not. That's throat chop. Whoa. Thank you, Quite. Quite's donated $1,000 to the Critical Role Foundation. I appreciate you. Here's to another throat chop. Oh, that just all went on my shirt. That's not throat chop.
I mean, is this not just intensely uncomfortable to see somebody do this to themselves?
We have so much throat chop left. I'm going to have to be doing this the whole night. Okay, well, it just farted in my face. Okay.
I mean, that made me want to gag a little bit, honestly. I think that's enough of that one. So here's him shaving his mustache, which, you know, not a great mustache, but still just altering your appearance for money. It's just, it comes across as very demeaning to me. I could not do this. You know, I can't grow facial hair anyway, but I would not grow my measly, pathetic excuse for facial hair out for money. I'm not doing that.
Is your mustache naturally that blonde?
Why would he dye it to look so much worse than it would if it was like the same color as his hair?
Oh, I could do ASMR on you guys. You're in the seat.
Okay.
You
Let's
creeping
get to
on
it.
me? Oh. You know where this is? Chairs
Got
into my
food?
name?
Okay.
'Cause you're... Oh. That I
Would
think.
you just shave the mustache already? My goodness. And he's just shooting hairs all over his desk.
It's actually super. Ugh. Ugh. I'm already starting to see it. Ew. It's like someone's deep faking my mustache off. Yuck.
Is it? Or does it look like you've just partially shaved?
Ew. It's so gross to see these mustache hairs fling everywhere as well. Ugh.
Yeah.
Make me sick.
And this is what he's potentially signing himself up for again. So here, he has a habanero dinner. I don't know if we'll watch this far, but he said that he thought he was going to eat like 10 of these, and I think he has to stop at like 2.
Oh man, these are gonna fuck me up. Holy fuck. Ah.
This is a thing some YouTubers will do. They'll go around with like the one chip challenge or whatever, and they'll get random people to make themselves look like fools for a couple bucks. And iDubbbz is just doing the same thing. I don't know how you do this to yourself. Like I get he dug himself into a hole, but man, I just a little bit of preemptive planning really could have saved you, man. Just like I would be kicking myself so hard for the overspending in this moment, but I don't know if he even recognizes that because he doesn't want to mention that he overspent.
Fuck. I haven't. Oh, I'm having a hard time fucking breathing.
Struggles for a while. And then Anisa offers him a popsicle. I think he holds off on that. Yeah, he just endures. Be's uncomfortable. But the way that okay, he does eat another one here.
I mean, it's not. It's like.
Oh. He doesn't need the mic. Chew with your lips closed.
It's in your head. Somehow through it. Oh. Thing.
And then this is how he eats the popsicle on stream.
Oh my god. That is like instant relief.
Like, why? Why are we doing this? I get you have to make money, but you just have to make such a fool of yourself. Just deep-throating the popsicle. Oh, and yeah, his chat is, that's hot, jeez. I can feel it. Lick the tip. So zesty with it. Like, what are you doing, man? And then here, he says this was the 150K goal, Girly pop, and he's gonna have Anisa do his makeup.
A bit, but that's okay.
I don't care. Welcome, Fika fam. For anyone just joining us, what we decided to do is, even though we're not currently at 150K, we decided to put our efforts toward Girly Pop, which, you know.
Yeah, so they're 9K short of the goal to do this anyway, and they're just going ahead with it.
Is, ooh, that feels so good. I love that texture.
Can you,
Be more like this.
do this? There you go. Thank you. You like the texture? Like the cooling kind of feeling?
She tells him to close his mouth and then starts asking him questions.
Well, just the feeling that it's like, it almost simulates like skin or like something organic.
Yeah.
Because it's got makeup
It simulates skin, and that's a positive?
product on it, and it's a very like soft foam.
Yeah.
So it ends up feeling like, you know,
Yeah.
an animal or something.
It's also kind of warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can,
It's a little bit too light. Kind of fine in hand. Yeah, it smells like.
okay, so he just looks more pale here. I don't know
I think I'm just gonna use my.
if that's the look they're going for. Just
Okay. You gotta look at me.
pale.
Should have put the.
Okay, what the heck? That looks like lipstick to me. I'm assuming it's not because she's putting it on the side of his face, but
Cup again.
is the whole thing just making him okay? There's some color that gets added to it.
Yeah, that's 7. I mean, I'm liking it.
Yeah, wait, just look at me.
Check don't know, they said.
Oh.
I mean, I think you get the idea. That's probably enough horror for one day. But that's what iDubbbz is signing himself up for again. I really hope for the sake of his sanity that he does not lose this much money again. I don't think you could do this twice. I don't think you can. I think that's just the end. You got to throw in the towel if you work yourself into a situation where you have to do this again. Just get a regular job, man. Oof. And you know, do the YouTube thing on the side, see if you can get it going again. But this is not it. This is not it.